Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another Marvel Snap video. In this video, we're going to have a quick look over this patch that's, in my opinion, is a bit disappointing and small. So, I'm also going to put the spotlight catches for the month in, give them a rating out of 5 stars. Say if you should open caches or not. You know, a little feedback on them. Anyways, you got to remember, with this patch, it's a bit of a letdown that you have to remember it takes 3-4 weeks for them to get these balance patches into the game, so they're always a little behind the meta. So that's why it's kind of sucks. It might be one of the worst patches we've seen. So straight up, Uatu is now a 1-1 at the start of the game, show you the right location. So I think this could be okay for pool 1 and 2, early 3, but for 5 pool 3 players and pool 4 and 5, you probably don't play this. Just play in the dark. 70% of the time, you're going to be fine, right? Next up is a Mantis change from a 1-2 to a 2-3. I don't imagine it sees any play. The effect is still the same, so you've got to guess the right location to steal a card. So it's kind of maybe with like it's going to be a little bit easier to know where they're going to play the card, but I still don't see it getting played. It's too unreliable. Next up, Cable, probably the best of the changes. It's gone from a 2-2 to a 3-4. Kind of slows down Loki a little bit, I guess. So you couldn't go like Snow Guard into Cable into Loki, anything like that. Or you can go like Quinjet, Collector, Cable, Snow Guard, and then Loki. So it slows it down a little bit. You got this on a 3-4, probably still sees play in Dino decks. Maybe he sees play a little bit more in Dino decks now, because 3-4 is better stats. But it's pretty underwhelming. And then the last change is Mariah Hill goes from a 2-3 back down to a 1-drop that she used to be, I believe. And she's a 1-2 on reveal and a random 2-cost card to your hand. So before she was like a 1 or a 2 cost, right? So this is a good change. This will probably get played in Dinos and Loki decks now. For 1 cost, it gives you a card. Very good. Cool little generation. But that's it for the patch. It's kind of underwhelming. It doesn't affect the meta. But we have an OTA next week, which should target the meta. That should be the patch that targets the meta if it needs some tweaks and not. So we'll see. Anyways, let's look at the spotlight catches for the month. So this week, I've given this a 4-star rating, but it's only a 4-star rating if you do not have Thanos. If you have Thanos, it's probably a 1-star. I'm not going to lie. If you have Thanos, do not open caches this week. If you don't have Thanos, it's a 4-star because Thanos is great. X23 is decent. Goes in Destroy Card. It's like a cool little card. You don't need it, but it's really fun and good and just improves the deck a little bit, but it's only marginal. So if you don't have it, it's great. Echo hasn't found her spot yet. Decent enough card, but her time hasn't come yet. It will come. So without Thanos, it's like a 4-star because he's a big bad. He's so good. With Thanos, it's probably a 1. I'm gonna be a bit harsh on these. So and then next week we have Man Thing, Silver Samurai, and Lady Deathstrike. For me, this is a 2.5. It was close to giving it a 2, but I like this card. So Silver Samurai is cool. A Man Thing is counted by Luke Cage, but if they don't have Luke Cage, it could be very fun. So it could be interesting. Sorry. So I'm giving it. It's gonna slot right into like a high Evo type stuff. It's gonna target Elsa and stuff like that. It's gonna go well in jump decks. So I'm giving it 2.5 because it could work, but it probably doesn't because Luke Cage just counters it. Samurai, good discard card. Lady Deathstrike, she's a bit weak. She's pretty bad. But yeah, 2.5 to 2. You could argue for either. This is the card I'm looking most forward to. Oh yeah, 1 second. Whilst we're on Man Thing is the only Series 4 card, So this week, I would buy him with tokens. Save your caches this week and buy Man-Thing with tokens if you are going for him. Because he's Series Forces 3K. Forgot about that. And then this comes into the caches. I'm looking forward to Black Knight because I love discard. I'm at a discard height right now. But it's probably going to be one of the weaker cards. It could be a surprise card, but I just think it's going to be a little too slow. You're going to be able to get big turns and plays out of it, but it's going to be unreliable, slow, clunky most of the time. So it's probably a 2-star. This is the card that, unless you're a discard man, and if you love discard and you don't have Mordok, this is probably like a 5-star for you. But if you've got Mordok and you like discard, it's probably a 2 where I put it. Because like statue, these two don't really combo well with Black Knight. It's more like Blade and Sith and stuff like that. So it's probably a 2-star. This was the card I'd probably open last if you wanted to go for any cards this month. This one's a 3, which is Nico, Kitty Pryde, and Phoenix Horse. So it probably goes down to a 2 if you have Kitty Pryde. If you don't have Kitty Pryde, it's probably about a 4. But so I've gone in the middle because I think Nico's going to be a surprise factor. I actually think it's going to be a decent card. Hopefully Phoenix Force gets a buff again. But Kitty Pryde, if you don't have her, it's worth opening this week because her and Elsa is insane. But if you have her, it's probably a 2 because Nico could be good, could be bad. So it's a little iffy. And then on to the last week, which I think is going to be the surprise week. Werewolf by Night, Silk, and Ghost Spider. I think Werewolf by Night might be the best card this month. Possibly. I think it's going to be a surprise factor. I think this card's going to surprise me. This is the Dark Horse. I think Elsa, I put Elsa as like the best card this month. But I think Werewolf by Night could be the Dark Horse. The one you don't expect to be great, but is great. Because it's what if you play it on reveal, move this here and gain stats, right? I think the card is. So you don't have to put it in a move deck, right? You can go on reveal, move it around and stuff. It could be fun. Also, the reason this is a 3.5, you don't have Silk, go for it. I'm a big fan of Silk. I'm a big believer. She's one of the best cards in the game. I play her way too much, according to my YouTube comments, but I just love the card. Like, people question it because of the randomness, but once you play Silk enough, you have a very good idea where your Silk's going to go and how to control it as best you can to give you the highest chance of her being where she needs to be. So she's a great card. So I think this is going to be a great week. So that's the cards done. If I was to look at these cards, I would say buy the Battle Pass, buy Man-Thing with tokens, and if you have 4 caches, I would probably open this week and go for Nico. And then it would be Werewolf, and last would be Black Knight. But I would not open for this week. This is a tokens only week. This is probably the week you open up the best, I think. Or this one. No, this one. I'm going to put this one above Nico. This is the week you open your caches. But I want to say Nico first, because it comes first. So if you high roll and get Nico in 1, you can also go for this. It all depends on your caches. If you have 4 caches here, go for Nico. If you only have 2 or less, do not I would probably wait, but it all comes down to preference, right? If you don't have Kitty, this is the week to go. If you don't have Silk, this is the week to go. So it's all preference, but either one of these two is good to open the thing. This week, avoid. This week, use tokens. This week, if you don't have Thanos, go. And that's it for the video. I know I've squeezed a lot in here, but it saves me doing 2 videos and having to put it out. So, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what week you're going to open caches, how many spotlight caches you got, if you're buying any of the cards with tokens instead. And I'll catch you tomorrow for another video.